Well, yeah, that's a nice neutral viewpoint. But to take my question more directly is, do you have any particular effort right now in really backing up the local fruit producers to get to the market and kind of decrease the amount of regulations that may or may not interfere with that particular activity as far as profitability and everything is concerned?
Well, yeah, there are some things going on. You know, when you get into some of the regulations and health regulations, we want to make sure that they do not affect the Ohio growers. You know, and at the federal level, some of the regulations, some of the marketing agreements are being written. You know, they're being pushed, frankly, by a lot of the very large producers in California, which might shut out some of the Ohio producers. A lot of Ohio produce growers and marketers are kind of working on an Ohio agreement that would you know, allow greater flexibility and standards that would not shut out Ohio growers, which are much smaller than the big California growers. And on the other end, we're talking about trying to open up markets a little bit more. The state of Ohio, in some of its specs for bidding processes, you know, farmers or distributors that may want to supply, you know, give a contract to supply some state agencies. Some of the specs actually say Idaho potatoes. It doesn't say Ohio potatoes. It doesn't talk about any variety. It says Idaho potatoes. Well, you know, we need state agencies to leave the door open, very open, and maybe even give a little bit of preference to Ohio-produced products. So, you know, those are a couple of things we want to do to kind of create some opportunities and avoid unnecessary restrictions on Ohio growers. Yeah.
Where's the money going to come from to do that?
You know, a lot of these things do not necessarily require a lot of money. You know, some of these things are you know, might be some regulatory issues where it's just a matter of getting the different, you know, key people from the different state agencies together and say, you know, hey, maybe we need to adjust some of these rules. If it requires legislation, we need to let the legislators know that some things need to change. So it shouldn't require a lot of money. And on some of these things, you know, when we talk about buying Ohio products, in the long run, that's going to be, you know, very, very, very good for the state economically. By buying these Ohio products, we're keeping the food dollars in the state, keeping these farms and processors and distributors in business, which is going to increase, you know, add money to the state's tax coffers as well as to the local economy. So it you know, it's not only not going to cost a lot of money to do a lot of these things, but in the long run, the state is going to be much better off economically and financially. Yeah.
I believe you said Ohioans spend $9 billion on food a year.
Well, statewide, it's $43 billion. In the 12 central Ohio counties, it's about $7 billion.
Okay. Is that just on groceries, or is that like also fast food and restaurants?
Yeah, it includes groceries and restaurants and things like that. I'm not sure it includes things like you know, college meals, institutional meals. I think if you factor that in, it might actually be a little bit more. But those are figures from the U.S. Department of Agriculture.